Mm-hmm. Are you ready? All right. 3.
Welcome to SBC. What do you guys think? I'm Jesse Abrams. This is Eli Pearl and Alex Swift. What do you guys think about ESPN broadcasting poker?
I think that it's not a good idea at all. It doesn't get many people watching ESPN because ESPN's for sports. Poker, it takes no athletic ability to play poker unless you count keeping a straight face. And that's not really a real sport. If there's like a good basketball game on, but oh wait, they're having the World Poker Tour. That nobody really wants to watch that.
Alex?
I honestly think that it should, because say you go up to someone, start a conversation, someone says, "Oh, did you see that great soccer game last night?" You say, "No, because there was poker on." I actually was just going to watch TV. I turned it on, and guess what was on? Poker. Poker was on. I'm thinking, what? This shouldn't be on. Maybe the replay of the Dodgers game that ended in the walk-off by Ethier a few nights ago should be on, not poker. Poker is not a real sport.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. Poker should definitely not be on ESPN. It's not a sport like basketball and hockey and baseball are sports. You actually run around. Poker, don't move. All you move is your hands. Like, nothing. And how do you guys feel about soccer games ending in shootouts?
Alex? If it's I like it what they do in hockey. If it's like the playoffs, just do regular until someone scores in overtime. Though during the regular season, then play a shootout, like hockey, as I was saying.
I think that actually it should be sort of opposite for World Cup. I agree that playoffs shouldn't have it. Where World Cup, a lot of finals have ended on penalty shots, which means if they have great goal scorers, that won't do anything. If you have a bad goalie, you lose the game, even though you could have been the better team because the other team has a better goalie. But I think for like group stages, they should do shootouts because those matter, but not as much. Where for like the finals, they should just do like golden goal.
Alex, I agree with you that only in hockey, you should only do regular season games, and in the playoffs and the championship, you should not.
All right, bonus topic. Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
I'm gonna say this is gonna be hard, but I think the Packers will reign. Because with Aaron Rodgers, well, actually, maybe Packers. I have to go with Packers.
I think Packers too. They got Aaron Rodgers and a good backup quarterback.
Alex. People are going to hate me for this. I'm going to go Packers in overtime versus the Steelers. The Steelers have a great team. Le'Veon Bell, Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown. Packers, like you two, I think they're going to win. Randall Cobb, Jordy Nelson, Eddie Lacy, and Aaron Rodgers. I say Packers, Steelers, Packers win.
And thank you for watching SBC.
All right. Okay, so let's get it rocking. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
3.
Welcome to STT. I'm here with
Adam.
Russell?
Abraham.
and I'm Evan. Our first topic, Pete Rose. They found out that Pete Rose only gambled on the games that he did not play in. He only gambled on the games that he managed. Do you think they should allow him into the Hall of Fame? Russell?
Well, I actually do think that he should be into the Hall of Fame because not only does he hold a lot of records for all-time MLB, but he has been like one of the most all-time All-Stars. He's been about a 6-time All-Star. And he's done really well every single year. He does well every year, and he's one of the best players that you never think of in the game.
Hey, bro?
Well, I think he shouldn't because he gambled on the games that he affected. He could, even though I'm pretty sure he's better than his team winning.
Well,
He could
the
I
whole
mean-
reason we came up with this topic is because they found out that he never gambled on any of the games that he actually played.
Yeah, I mean,
He only gambled on the games where he managed the team, so that he had less an effect of who won. So
Well, managers actually have a huge effect on who wins.
yeah,
but
but
I
they don't
mean-
have as big as effect as the people who go out there on the field.
You
Unless you're a
can't
bench
really.
warmer.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. Yeah.
I mean, you can't really just say to your team, "Hey, guys, I gambled $22 million for you to lose, so go ahead and lose."
You can't do that.
You can't do that. I mean, that's just wrong.
Yeah. All right. Adam, what do you think?
Well, I think he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame because he had something to do with the game, and he gambled, and he was not supposed to gamble. And like Russell said, you can't do that. You can't tell your team, I betted a few bucks. A few bucks means a lot of bucks, but to lose this game. So if he did something wrong, how else are you going to punish him if you're just going to let him go back into the Hall of Fame once he gambles and tells his team to lose?
Well, actually,
I agree with all of you guys. And let's get on to our next topic.
Wait, no, but actually, I'm pretty sure he gambled on his team winning.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure at least just a couple
New
games.
topic.
Yeah. The new topic is should designated hitters be allowed in the National League? Adam, we'll start with you.
Well, I think there should be designated hitters in the NL and the AL because who would you rather have, or who would you rather see hitting? A slugger like David Ortiz or a pitcher who can't even really hit the ball very well, and Adam Wainwright. And pitchers, when you get some of the best pitchers in the game, and they end up losing their season just by batting, when what their job is to do is pitch.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with you. I really want designated hitters in the National League. It would make the games more high scoring, and it would give pitchers just a little bit more to give a little bit less to think about. Russell, what do you think?
Well, now that you brought up the topic about more high-scoring games, I actually think that there shouldn't be. Mostly because then if you have more high-scoring games, then it won't get that more interesting. Then you'll see more home runs. That means less action on the base path, and less action.
No, but how could more home runs make the game less exciting?
Because you can really expect it. You can expect it.
That's a
When-
good point.
No, but
Do you disagree?
Well, a home run's pretty hard to do anytime. I mean, when you have some of these walls that are over, 380 feet at like the smallest, and every time that's hard to hit a home run. And if you're expecting it, you shouldn't be expecting a guy for every time to hit a ball 380 feet.
I mean,
Lastly, what do you think?
well, I think. Well, I mean, but some pitchers make impact while batting. Like
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Madison Bumgarner might not have made a huge impact, but 4 home runs is good for a pitcher.
It is definitely good. All right, that's all the time we have for today. We'll see you later on STT.
You know, you kind of sign over here.
Okay.
So, quiet on the set. 3.
Hi, welcome to MLB Tomorrow Night. I'm Ford Dreifert, your host. I'm working alongside Sam Walker and Ben Walker. So, what do you think, which MLB team do you think, which organization in the MLB has had the best, or has been the best in the past 5 years?
I personally think it's either the Giants or the Cardinals.
I'm going to go with actually the Cardinals because they have a great system of bringing up prospects. They've made great trades that have worked out for them over the years, and they've made the postseason every year. So yeah. Sam?
I'm going to go with the Giants just because they've won 3 World Series in the last 5 years. I mean, the most successful team should be the team that wins the most championships. And we're talking the last 5 years, not the 21st century or the last 15 years. So, therefore, I mean, I think it's obviously the Giants because they've won 3 World Series in the past 5 years, the most of any team.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I mean, the Giants have won 3 World Series in the past 5 years. I mean, against the Rangers, KC, I mean, all some really good teams. And, I mean, their bullpen can really shut down offensive lineups, and they've got some really good hitters.
New topic, who's going to win the NL Cy Young?
I personally think Garrett Cole because he's the best in wins, WHIP, and ERA so far. He already has 13 wins. He's pitched phenomenally. And I think he'll probably win the Cy Young. That or him or Zach Greinke.
Sorry, go ahead.
I would say either Garrett Cole or Zach Greinke. Garrett Cole, like Ben said, leads the league in wins and WHIP, and Zach Greinke, I mean, has the best ERA. And
I'm going to go with Greinke. I mean, he's just pitched brilliant this whole year. He's the All-Star game starter for the National League. He's really taken over the number one spot as the Dodgers ace, as Kershaw has not been his brilliant self this whole year, especially he struggled earlier in the season. So I think he's the Dodgers' best pitcher right now, and I think he's going to be the National League Cy Young winner.
All right, new topic, American League MVP.
I'm going to have to go with Mike Trout. He's been runner-up a lot of years. Well, I think the past 2, and he won it. He won it last year.
Yeah.
Okay, well he won it last year, and I think he'll put up another repeat. I mean, he's hitting over 300, has over 30 homers, has plays astounding defense. Probably one of the most probably the best overall player in baseball. So yeah, I think he'll win. I'm going to go with Mike Trout, too. I mean, he has 31 home runs this season so far, and he was the MVP of the last 2 All-Star games, including this one. And I think he's been he's a great player all around. He's got speed, he can hit, he can play defense. I mean, what do you think?
Just for entertainment's sake, I wish I could go with another guy, but unfortunately I'm going to have to go with Trout as well. I think he's just the best player in baseball right now. He's so valuable to the Angels. I don't think the Angels would be half as good without him. He'll play his best every day, and he's outstanding both defensively and offensively, and I don't think that there's a guy as good as he is.
All right, new topic, because you're a baseball show, who's going to win the Super Bowl?
I think the Seahawks are, because they made it last year, and they're pretty stacked. I don't know much about football, but I think they're going to win. I would say the Seahawks, too. I mean, after a shocking lose to the Patriots, I mean, that interception with 20 seconds left, I mean, that was just crazy. But I think the Seahawks can pick themselves back up and try to win another one this year.
I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers. I think they have the reigning MVP in Aaron Rodgers. They have Eddie Lacy, I think, is going to have a better season than he did last year. I think they're just going to win it this year.
Well, that's all we have for the night. This is MLB Tomorrow. I'm Ford Driver. This is Sam Walker. That's Ben Walker. Good night.
About filling out your names when you're done. Okay? I'll need that. 3.
Hi, I'm here from Sports Broadcasting Camps with my partners, Madden and Max Cepeda. Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame. Yes or no, Madden?
I have to say no. He used almost 700 of his home runs on drugs. He cheated, and he doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame because he didn't do all of that work on his own. Max?
Well, I have to kind of agree with him because the only reason he got those 756 home runs and beat Hank Aaron on the home run list was because he took performance-enhancing drugs. So I'm going to have to agree with Madden.
I do think that Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't think, well, he did take PEDs, but I think he is one of the best home run hitters ever.
New topic, who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Well, it's going to be a hard decision, but I might have to go with the Seahawks. Since the Patriots are going to start off their season without Tom Brady, I'm just going to have to go with Seattle. I think the Patriots will still make it in the playoffs, even though Tom Brady is gone for 4 games. Then the Patriots and Tom Brady will be in the playoffs. I think the Patriots will move in the playoffs, but I don't think they'll be in the Super Bowl. I think the Seahawks will probably win.
I think the Packers will get close to the Super Bowl, but I think they won't make it. My surprising pick to win the Super Bowl is the Indianapolis Colts. Last year, they went to the AFC Championship, lost to the Patriots. They didn't have a good time in the AFC Championship, lost 45-7. They're going to come at it this year with more integrity and more confidence, more enthusiasm. I think they're going to be my pick for the Super Bowl this year.
New topic, LeBron or Kobe?
I'm going to have to go with Kobe on this one because Kobe has the more points, and as we all know, more points gives you more wins. Kobe for sure. I'm personally not a big fan of LeBron. I think Kobe is the better player. Points does win more.
LeBron and Kobe are very close, but Kobe outlasts LeBron by a little bit. Kobe had that extra oomph in his career to give him a better start than LeBron. Kobe got 5 championships with the Lakers. LeBron also has, Kobe has more than LeBron. LeBron has 5, even though LeBron is still more active than Kobe in games. Kobe is still a better player in his career.
Okay,
Hold on, new topic, NL MVP.
Ooh, geez, NL MVP. Oh gosh. I already have my Zach Greinke for my Cy Young, so I'm gonna have to say for my NL MVP. Ooh, geez. I might want to go with Zach Greinke again on this one because you can't just stop him. He's very good. He had almost 400 consecutive innings, but this guy's a beast. You can't just stop him. Zach Greinke does lead the league in ERA. I will go with Greinke again for Cy Young and MVP. He has had a fantastic season.
NL MVP for me this year, that's a tough one. Zach Greinke will for sure win the Cy Young. He has best ERA, and he has 10 wins this season. He's actually 11-2. He won today. And for my choice for the NL MVP, this is going to surprise a lot of people, Jock Peterson. He is a rookie. He's very well developed. 20 home runs this year so far. 21 home runs this year so far. 45 RBIs. I think he's going to leave the season with a lot of legacy.
From the sports broadcasting camps, I'm Ben Averbrooks along with Max Zapata and Madden Oko. Good night.
Lands are each other, right?
Boom.
All right, good.
To the 20. Wait, so what are we talking?
3.
Hi, I'm Tommy Jacobs with my partners Zachary Zychek and Josh Mechanic. First, we're going to talk about fantasy football, telling you who we think are going to be your top sleepers this year. Zachary, who do you think is going to be one of the top sleepers in fantasy football?
I think one of the top sleepers this year is going to be Peyton Manning.
Okay, Josh.
I think Derek Carr will be a great sleeper. Nobody really talks about him because he's on the Raiders, but I think he's a great quarterback and he has a bright future.
I think that one of the top sleepers could be Alshon Jeffrey, taking the place of Brandon Marshall because of his trade to the Jets. Next, we're going to be talking about our fantasy, the greatest fantasy players of this year. I personally think that Eddie Lacy could be a star running back in this year's fantasy drafts.
This year for fantasy, I think a great player, Jameis Winston, the rookie just coming out of college who's going to start. I think he can have a great year if he is up to it, and if he tries hard enough, he can have a great year.
I think Andrew Luck or Le'Veon Bell, because Le'Veon Bell is the best running back in the NFL, and Andrew Luck can run. He can do everything on the field.
New topic. Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
I think either the Steelers or the Seahawks are going to win the Super Bowl. The Seahawks defense and offense is amazing, and the Steelers have the best running back and the best wide receiver in the NFL.
I think that it could be a great fight between the Indianapolis Colts and the Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl, because the Green Bay Packers have a dynamic offense with Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb, their two star wide receivers, Aaron Rodgers, last year's MVP, and Eddie Lacy, one of the most dynamic power running backs in the game.
I think in the Super Bowl it's going to be between the Packers and either the Colts or Patriots, the two teams that were in the conference finals last year. I think it's going to be a rematch between the Colts and Patriots, and I'm not sure yet which one's going to come out on top. But I think the Packers are definitely going to be in the finals, and they're going to do a rematch of the Packers versus Seahawks, and the Packers are going to come out on top.
New topic. Greatest soccer player of all time.
Pele. He does everything, and people could argue Messi or Ronaldo, but Pele is a legend.
I think that Messi could end up being better than Pele at the end of his career, because Messi, first of all, the highest paid soccer player right now, and second, he was the World Cup MVP last year.
I think it's between, for me right now, I have a two-way tie between Pele as one of the best of all time and Maradona, who was a great midfielder from Argentina, probably the best person from Argentina ever.
All right, new topic. Mike Trout. Could he be the best of all time?
Yes, Mike Trout could definitely be the best of all time if he keeps up his work like he is now. He can field, he can run, he can hit, he can do everything.
I personally do not think that Mike Trout could be the best player of all time, because he is not. He is the star of his team, but he is not the only one that carries his team. Albert Pujols is also a great player that is voted to the All-Star game almost every year he's in the league.
I have to agree with Tommy. I don't think he's going to be one of the best of all time. He'll be maybe in the top, but not number one. He's one of the top center fielders of all time and outfielders, but not the top player of all time.
Thank you. This has been Sports Broadcasting News. I'm Tommy Jacobs with my partners Zachary Zychik and Josh Mechanic. Thank you.
All right, good work, Drew.
Okay.
All right,
Yep.
good. Quiet on the set. 3.
Welcome to Sports Broadcasting Camp. This is Sports Broadcasting Center. We're going to be doing In Your Face. First topic of the day, the Mount Rushmore of basketball. Who's yours, Joey?
I have Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and LeBron James, because they're nearly the 4 best players of all time.
What about yours, Darius?
I have to go Kobe, like Joey said. It's pretty similar to Joey's, but it's Kobe, LeBron, Yao Ming, and Michael Jordan for me.
Mine is Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and then I put in, for the 4th one, I didn't want to put LeBron in there, so I just decided to go Wilt Chamberlain. So they all were good they played good when they were in their prime. So let's go on to our next topic. Which sport has the best officiating, Joey?
I have to say, actually, I'm not sure about this one. Darius, you're first.
Tennis, because they always have to be perfect about every single call and nothing can ever be wrong.
so I have to go tennis. Even though it annoys me when I have to watch it, I still have to go with tennis.
You're not supposed to normally do this on this show in your face, but I have to agree with you, Darius. Tennis, the officials are pretty much always correct. They never make many mistakes, so this is the best officiating.
Yup.
New topic. World Series champion this year.
It's going to be the Dodgers.
Dodgers, really? The Dodgers, they always fall apart in the postseason.
The St. Louis Cardinals are going to beat them.
But they have
Like
Greinke.
always.
But they have
Oh,
Greinke
little
this year.
Greinke. That's one game, right? Aren't there 7?
They have Greinke and they have Jock Peter. I think.
No.
Cardinals
The Yankees are going to win. The Yankees are going to win.
No, St. Louis Cardinals all the way. Best record in the MLB right now. Definitely best team.
That doesn't matter if they have the best record. Yankees.
And they're also the best team.
Okay, but they don't hit as well as the Yankees do.
Okay, good for you.
All right, new topic. Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl, it's going to be Indianapolis Colts versus the Seahawks. I just think because of Andrew Luck, they're just going to push it to the Super Bowl and win.
Joey?
I think it's going to be the same as last year, except for instead of Seahawks and Patriots, it's going to be the Colts and the... Oh, I forgot who the Seahawks played. Oh, and Green Bay Packers. There we go.
I'm going to have to say the Packers, like you said. And then the AFC, the Patriots aren't going to do very well in the first 4 games. So I think that team coming out of the AFC is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to make a run, and they're going to, with their running back Jamal Charles, they're going to win the AFC championship.
All right, new topic. Who's the bounce back NFL team?
Steelers. I think all of their players, Ben Roethlisberger, is going to do very well, and just everybody's going to do good. I think Troy Polamalu is going to have a great season too. He retired. My bad.
I think the Steelers will do well, but I think my surprise team, their bounce back team, will be the Buffalo Bills. Picking up LaShawn McCoy will make them run the ball more with their inexperienced quarterbacks, and that will really help them. What about you?
I think the San Diego Chargers with Melvin Gordon and the running back, they'll be running the ball more, and it'll improve their running game a lot.
Well, let's do one more topic. Which sport has the best playoff system? Darius?
Baseball. I love the baseball system, but I just don't like that wild card 1 game. I think they should do it like every single playoff game.
Joey?
I like baseball. I have to agree. Baseball's the best, except for the wild card. It should be best of 3, because you shouldn't base it on one game of why they should take it away, a whole team.
Nobody's going to say basketball, because basketball, they take the 8 teams from each conference when they have the top
Losing records.
Yeah, losing records, and some of the teams in the West have winning records, and they should make it. I'm going to have to say football has a good playoff system. They have that wild card, which, like you guys said, isn't very good in baseball. So it's kind of not that great in football either, because they should just take the top 3 teams from each division. See, if you don't win your division, you shouldn't be able to make it to the playoffs. That's it for here at Sports Broadcasting Camp. I'm Tristan Montera with Joey and Darius, and good night.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Solomon Koliako. My partners Malcolm Hobart and Charlie Hobart. And today on In Your Face, our first topic is going to be who will win the AL Cy Young. Charlie, what do you think?
I know some people may not agree with me, but I actually think Sonny Gray is in major contention. Only 25 years old, got one of the lowest earned run average in the American League, and is just one of overall the best pitchers.
Malcolm, what do you think?
I know mine's kind of like the normal person would say, just from kind of record-ish. Dallas Keuchel. Also, mostly because he's getting away with throwing a 91-mile-an-hour fastball tops and still winning 14 games.
Yeah. I think it's between Sonny Gray and Dallas Keuchel. They've both been phenomenal. Sonny Gray actually leads the AL in ERA with like a 2.11 ERA,
Yeah.
but Keuchel's not far behind with a 2.31. So I actually think Keuchel's going to win the Cy Young because of he has I think he affects the team more than Sonny Gray does. With the A's being last place and the Astros being first place, I think having Keuchel on the staff helps the Astros more than the Athletics.
Because pretty much every game's pitches, you're being clutch because you're one game back every time.
Yeah.
Or you're one game back or one game in front, and every time you have to deliver.
Okay, well, our next question is, who is the better model organization, the Spurs in basketball or the Cardinals in baseball?
The Spurs of basketball, because I don't think the Spurs cheated at all, because obviously the Cardinals have been known to be hacking the Houston Astros organization, and I think they've built a not really superstar kind of international team to be amazing.
Yeah. So I know this Cardinals did hack, but I'm gonna actually have to go with the Cardinals. So I think the Cardinals have done more with less talent. The Spurs have had numerous stars: Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, David Robinson.
They turned all those people into stars.
Still, they are stars now. Manu Ginobili, and now they have LaMarcus Aldridge. The Cardinals, when they had Albert Pujols, they had a lot of talent. Listen, they still have a lot of talent, but Albert Pujols is now gone.
So is it first baseman?
The best player in the world. I know, but he was the best player in the world at the time. Now they are up 25 games. They're 25 games over 500 with Matt Carpenter and Michael Walker.
Batting
I totally agree with you, Solomon. Not to mention that they also lost Adam Wainwright and Matt Adams, two of the biggest stars on St. Louis's ball club.
All right,
and they're still the best team in Major League Baseball.
Still, if you have the best record, I mean, they're obviously stars, just they're not big, huge, ginormous stars. Did you see how many Cardinals All-Stars there were?
Yeah.
If you're considered an All-Star, you're considered a star.
I wouldn't consider Johnny Peralta a star. Even if he was he was hitting 290 or something, whatever he was hitting. The shortstop contention isn't very good in the NL anyways. So I would not consider Johnny Peralta a star. I wouldn't consider Matt Carpenter a star. I would still not consider Michael Walker a star. And I really wouldn't consider anybody else a star of that team until Adam Wainwright comes back.
All right, good topic. Who's going to win the World Series?
Who's going to win the World Series? My pick this year is the Toronto Blue Jays. They made some big moves here at the deadline, picking up 42-year-old Troy Hawkins, who is still climbing the radar guns, David Price, and Troy Tulowitzki, not to mention speed, and Ben Revere. And I just think they have the contention, youth, strength, all that to win.
Okay. So who I think is going to win the World Series? I think the Royals are going to win the World Series. I love the Astros. I love the Blue Jays. I like the Giants. I love what everybody did. I think the Giants made a great pickup in getting Mike Leake. Of course, the Blue Jays did what they did, and the Astros did what they did. The Royals, I think, got the most impactful people from the trade deadline, who were Johnny Cueto and Ben Zobrist. Omar Infante has been hitting 220. That is not good. Alex Gordon is now injured. That is not good. So they needed to replace him. Ben Zobrist is the perfect player for them. He emphasizes everything they do, average, look for pitches, and he not hurt, and that's good. So also with Johnny Cueto is one of the best pitchers in the MLB. He is phenomenal. He is phenomenal, and he's just a great starter.
I think I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Phillies. No, I'm just kidding. I think the Royals, too, have the potential to win the World Series with Gerard Dyson actually coming up and picking up kind of his game to become, if he develops a really good eye, he could be a really good leadoff man. He plays good defense. I think Johnny Cueto was a great pickup. And Alex Gordon out. I think Ben Zobrist would be a good guy, especially for a utility guy when they have young talent. But if you need a guy in left field, Zobrist is there. If you need a guy at second base, Zobrist is there.
I just want to say something real quick. I think Dyson is going to be the next Billy Hamilton, except he will not hit for 220. He'll hit for at least 280. So I think Dyson will become a very good player for our team.
All right, new topic. How does Deflategate affect Tom Brady's legacy?
I don't think it affects it a whole bunch. Because Tom Brady, before Deflategate, Brady was already one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. This, they would have won the game anyway. I know a lot of people are saying that. People think, whatever. No, but I think they would have won the game anyway.
Okay, so what I think this whole thing is ridiculous. Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time. No question about it. Okay? I don't care what happened. I don't. Most people do not have the evidence to say that Tom Brady absolutely did this. They need to. We're gonna see what happens in courts, and then we will find out.
I think it kind of makes Tom Brady, who is, I think, a humble guy, kind of turns him into a cheater, guy who broke his phone.
Well, he actually is a guy who broke his phone.
Yeah, he has kids who he has to teach them to be loyal. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And I think the NFL is making a huge deal over this.
I think this is, I think it is going to ruin his legacy because people just want to see Tom Brady fail.
Less than Boston.
Yeah.
Well, he'll
but
go down as a legend.
Here, with the fans who actually know what happened, I think Tom Brady is a legend. Thank you. From me, I'm Solomon Koliako, with Charlie Hobart and Malcolm Hobart. Thank you.
All right, I'll jump in after the first topic, all right?
Okay.
3, 2, quiet on the set. Shh.
Hi, my name is Aaron Goldstein. I'm alongside Kyle Grassel and David Orlinsky. Now, Kyle, who do you have to win the NL Cy Young?
Well, it's a close one, but I'm going to have to go with Zach Greinke. He's been pitching well all year. He just got his first win today. 11th win today, and now he's 11-2, only 2 losses. I think that's a Cy Young performance.
Do you disagree, David, or agree?
I do disagree. I'm going to go with reigning Cy Young Award winner and MVP Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers. You know, I think he can make a comeback. I just don't think Zach Greinke can finish up the year. As you saw today, he gave up 6 runs in 3 innings. Ended up getting the win, but overall, I think Clayton Kershaw has what it takes to come back and win another one.
Well, as you guys just pointed out, this just shows how great, how dynamic the Dodgers pitching staff is. The 2 guys who you guys say are going to win the Cy Young happen to be the 1-2 starting punch for the Dodgers. So either way, the Dodgers, they've got a great staff. And now on to the NL MVP. We'll start with David. Now, David, who do you think deserves the NL MVP?
You know, I don't think a pitcher will win this year. It's a real tough one. I think Chris Bryant could be a possibility, although you guys may disagree. His batting average is definitely dropping, but he could finish the year strong. I also think that Anthony Rizzo, another Cub, could be a possibility. I think Bryce Harper very well could be a possibility, and that's who I'm going with. Bryce Harper of the Washington Nationals.
All right, well, I think Harper is a great contender. The only doubt I have with Harper, everything's great with him. It's just he does get injured a lot, so you have to be mindful and hope he doesn't get injured. But when he's healthy, he is one of the best players in baseball. Now, Kyle, what do you think?
I'm going to have to agree with David here because I think Bryce Harper has a really good batting average. What is it, like 330 right now?
330, yes.
He's up there with home runs. I think he's one of the top players in the MLB, so I think he deserves the NL MVP.
And also, I want to jump in and say the forgotten Giancarlo Stanton will be returning next week. He finished with the MLB leading 27 home runs, which was overtaken by some other greats, I believe. Bryce Harper, Nelson Cruz overtake that role. But he'll be coming back next week, and he is always a possibility.
New topic, NFL bounce back team.
I am going to have to go with the San Diego Chargers. I think acquiring a new running back is what they needed. I think Phillip Rivers is really going to step up this year. And a lot of things are going on with the Chargers going to LA. The Charger fans are going to show all the support they have to make sure they stay in San Diego.
I got to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Even though they got knocked out in the playoffs, I really see Big Ben coming on and having a fantastic season. Even though Polamalu is retired, I think that defense will manage. And since Big Ben and their running backs are so dynamic, they will have a great year.
And I agree with Aaron. I don't think former USC star and Steelers star Troy Polamalu will have a big effect when he retires for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Ben Roethlisberger has what it takes to carry this team and end up being the bounce-back team of 2015-16 season.
All right. Now, guys, I have a very important question. I was wondering if you guys think that Mike Trout will go down as one of the greatest players of all time. Let's start with Kyle.
No, because he's young right now. You don't know what he can do, but I just don't have the feeling that he's capable of doing that. He's on Angels, who don't look like a team who's going to win the World Series, and that's usually what greats do. So I don't think he's going to be up there.
Well, can I just add to Kyle and you can go? So I'm going to agree with Kyle. I love the point that you just made about the Angels because Matt Kemp in 2011 had a fantastic season, and I, personally being a Dodger fan, think that he had a better season than Ryan Braun, who won the NL MVP, and we later figure out that he had PEDs. But the difference for the people who had the votes, they said that Braun and Kemp were pretty much identical, but the fact that Braun's team made the playoffs separated him. And I think that Trout will always be one of the best regular season performers. But last year in the playoffs, he was 1 for 12, and I don't think his team will be going to the playoffs this year. So Trout still needs to improve in that area. David?
I disagree. If you think of Phil Rizzuto, Pee Wee Reese, those guys weren't all greats at shortstop, but their teams really they help carry their teams to plenty of World Series titles. However, that's not the case with Mike Trout. Mike Trout is a great player that is not on a World Series winning team, but I think he will go down as one of the best players of all time. Maybe not in the top 5, but for sure in the top 20.
But can you agree with me on this? If Trout was on a better team, say the Cardinals or the Dodgers or the Royals, do you think that people would give him a better chance?
I think the legitimate baseball media that he needs to be recognized realize what a great player he is, no matter what team he is on.
Okay, there you have it, David Orlinsky. And that'll wrap it up for our show. I'm Aaron Goldstein, that's Kyle Grassel, there's David Orlinsky. Good night.
And we are ready.
Wait. In 3, 2.5, 2 2/4.
Those are the same thing. All right, welcome to In Your Face. I'm Sam Oates alongside Jonathan Reeve and Jack Brooks. Welcome to our show. We have a couple topics, and then we have a caller in asking us a question that these two will answer. All right, the first topic is which of these 3 rookies will do the best? Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, or Melvin Gordon? We'll start with you, Jonathan.
Like I said before, probably none of them, out of any of them, probably Melvin Gordon. Because first of all, he went to the not as good team. Oh, no, they all went to not as good teams, but I mean, I just feel like Melvin Gordon would do the best out of all 3. And just the way they've been playing, I think Melvin Gordon should be playing better than both of them, just in my opinion.
All right, now Jack, what is your thoughts?
Jameis Winston, I think he's a really good player, and I think that if he makes the right calls, helps his coaches out, then he could be number 1 out of those 3.
All right, if I had to choose, I would go with Jonathan on this one. Melvin Gordon is a great running back, and to add on, and Phillip Rivers is not that good of a quarterback, and with the running game could help him a lot if Antonio Gates gets injured of some sort, gets an injury of some sort. All right, next question. Who do you think, it's a tight race in the NL West, who do you think will win this race? The Dodgers or the Giants? Let's start with Jack this time.
Wait, what?
Who will they win the NL West, the Dodgers or the Giants?
I'm not really sure because, as you know, the Dodgers, they've been improving a lot. They've been playing really good.
And so the Giants, are you saying?
And then the Giants are World Series champions, but I'm going to have to go with the Dodgers on this one.
Jonathan, agree or disagree?
I have to agree. I'm a Dodgers fan, but also just the way they've been playing, they beat the Angels 3-0 in the series, and they beat the Phillies 2-1 in their series, and I just think they're doing better than the Giants are.
All right, thank you. I'm going to have to agree with both of you guys on this one. Very good thoughts. I don't think the Giants have a chance this year. Even though it was a wild card, they won the World Series last year. They're not going to win it all this year.
All right, new topic. Bounce back NFL team.
Bounce back NFL team. Jonathan, we'll start with you.
Let's see. There are a lot of bad, let's see. Maybe the Chargers. They got a great pick, Melvin Gordon, and they just have a great team.
and they have Phillips, and if they can just, Phillips doesn't get as many interceptions this season, and maybe passes to his teammates, I think Chargers can maybe get to the finals.
Jack, what is your thoughts?
I'm gonna have to agree. I think it's gonna be the Chargers. I mean, they're a great team that just can't win a Super Bowl, but I think if they make the right decisions, they can win a Super Bowl. Because as we all know, if they move to Los Angeles, it's gonna be in 2017. So I would like them to win a Super Bowl before they move. If they move.
All right, so that looks like Chargers. I just gotta throw in one more question. This is a really tight. I thought that the NFC North is a very, very exciting division with, of course, the Packers, NFC second place, Lions with Tate and
The big
Johnson and Megatron and Stafford, and then there's the Bears, and then the Vikings with the return of Adrian Peterson. Who do you think is going to win this very, very exciting division this year? Jack?
Well, I know that I am a ginormous Packer fan, but I think the Vikings did good amazing in the NFL draft. And with the return of Adrian Peterson, I think the Vikings will be able to win it.
Teddy Bridgewater, of course, trying to be more noticed better. I'm not sure about the Vikings. I totally disagree. If the Packers don't win it, I think the Lions might have a bounce-back season, but we'll see. Jonathan, what are your thoughts?
I gotta agree with Sammy. The Lions would. I think it'd be a great game for the NFC Finals.
NFC North, Packers, Lions.
Yeah,
I think that's gonna
that'd
be the
be
race.
a great game. Packers got Brett Hundley for their draft, one of their
course.
drafts as a secondary QB, and I'm a fan of UCLA, so I think that was good. And so if Aaron Rodgers would get hurt, they'd have a great backup QB, and they'd do really good.
That looks like that's going to be it for today. From our partners Jonathan Reef and Jack Brooks, I'm Sam Bubba's, and goodbye.
Good work, fellas. Frank Gore's up there?
Yeah, he's
All right. In 3, 2,
Welcome to In Your Face. I am John Peter Griffin with my partners John Zuza and Tristan Sobers. Today we are going to be talking about the NBA free agency and Super Bowl predictions. John, what was your favorite move during this offseason for the NBA?
I personally like the Lou Williams move by the Lakers. I think they got him relatively cheap for what he could have been asking for. 3 years, $21 million for the sixth man of the year, in my opinion, is a bargain. Especially when this guy's a shooting guard and gonna play and is okay playing behind Kobe. I think it's a complete bargain, and I think it was one of the steals of free agency because he wasn't one of those guys like LaMarcus Aldridge, but he wasn't one of those guys that no one knew about, and they got him for a really good price.
What do you think, Tristan?
I like the Spurs trade. How they got LaMarcus Aldridge. I think because the Spurs were they're like a good team. You know, they're always gonna be. They've been good for the past 7 years because they're the Spurs. But they don't really have one of those players that shine out like Curry, one of those type of guys. But when they got All-Star LaMarcus Aldridge, I think that was a good pickup because you know Tim Duncan's getting up there. He's 38 right now, and so I think that was a really good pickup.
Well, I kind of like the acquisition of Josh Smith to the Clippers and how they got Wesley Johnson, Paul Pierce, and all those guys, Pablo Prigioni, who punished them in the playoffs during the series, during the Rockets. How do you feel about those moves?
Well, I don't think they need to make the Clippers don't need to make any of those moves. I can understand Paul Pierce because they didn't really have a good small forward. But you don't need to go out making moves for Josh Smith and Paulo Prigioni. Please, Clippers, just don't spend any money. Give the Lakers a break.
What do you think, Tristan?
I think I'm going to agree with John right here. He said the Paul Pierce thing was a good acquisition. I think
But like, I don't think they really need Pablo Prigioni. I think the Josh Smith one was pretty good, but I don't think they didn't need to like spend money for Pablo Prigioni. I think the Josh Smith and the Paul Pierce one was good.
And then they also got Lance Stevenson, and they also have J.J. Redick. So who do you think is going to start?
I don't know. Lance Stevenson, when he was with the Pacers 2 or 3 years ago, he was a bench player. He was like, I think their best bench player, but then he moved up to the starting lineup. But then they traded. Well, they put him in Charlotte, and I think that was bad by the Pacers. But he ended up in the Clippers right here. So I think because J.J. Redick is a consistent. He's always been starting for the Clippers. I think that Lance Stevenson's going to be on the bench as 8th man.
What do you think, John?
I think the Lance Stevenson trade again was pointless. I don't think you needed to give up Matt Barnes, which I think the Clippers their offseason, I would give them like a D-, honestly. But I think J.J. Redick starts because he's been starting the past few years. He's a lights-out three-point shooter. He shoots the three ball as good as anyone does. And there was an article in the LA Times about how if he made a half-court shot, they didn't have practice, and he drilled it first shot. So, I mean, that's just another thing. He just makes his threes.
But I think Lance Stevenson would start because he has an all-around game. He's not like J.J. Redick, who can just shoot and pull up from mid-range. Lance Stevenson can dribble, drive, shoot, everything. And plus, he's a really good defender, and he's very athletic.
Then put him at small forward and make him start at small forward rather than keep J.J. Redick in the game. So you have a passer in Chris Paul, you have a shooter in J.J. Redick, you have an all-around player in Stevenson, you have a dunker in Griffin, and you have a good rebounder in DeAndre Jordan. That's like a starting lineup for success.
But Lance Stevenson would then get punished by Jabari Parker, Giannis Antetokounmpo, LeBron James, and all of those great
But he's
small
6'5".
forwards.
He could stand his game at small forward.
Okay. What do you think, Tristan?
Well, about Lance Stevenson, I think he shouldn't be starting yet, and I think that he just shouldn't be starting. And I think he should. I don't know. I think Matt Barnes should stay in, like during the beginning of the season, and then if see how Lance Stevenson does, and then maybe put him in the starting lineup as the season goes on.
I think we have a new topic.
Okay, last topic. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? One answer.
Seahawks.
Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Seahawks.
Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Packers.
I am John Peter Griffin signing off for my partners, John Zuzo and Tristan Sobers.
All right, good work.
To Braden Milster.
Okay. Are you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
3.
Hello, this is ESPN's new show, In Your Face. I'm Aaron, this is Chase Landis, this is Will Silo, and this is Braden Goldsmith. As we are about to talk about the latest trends in sports. The first trend is, should the college football playoff be changed from 4 teams to 8 teams? What do you think, Chase?
I like it as is, but I think they should change it. I think it would make it more interesting.
All right. Stop whining, Big 12. Sure, your 2 best teams didn't make it. So what? Maybe if it was 8 teams, you would make it. There should be 8 teams. I like it.
I think there should be 8 teams because the best teams, like let's say there's a Sun Belt team like Boise State that's number 8 in the country. Well, they won't have a chance of getting in. I think it should be 8 teams.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of yes and no on this. It should stay at 4 teams based on time, and it should be 8 teams based on what the fans want. Because if it's 4 teams, then that only takes 2 weeks. 8 teams, that'll take 3 whole weeks, and it won't. And the college football won't be done until probably January 20th or so.
All right, next topic. Should the MLB All-Star Game decide who has home court in the World Series? Chase.
Yes, I think it should. It makes you excited. It makes you more All-Star Game. You root for a team, but you'll be more excited if you're rooting for the national team and they lose without this rule. You'll be like, oh well, it's a fun game to watch. They win, you'll be excited, saying, oh, our team has a chance to make it to the World Series. If it gets to Game 7, we'll have home team advantage. I think it's a good idea.
I think there should be no rule about Game 7 of the World Series. First of all, let's say the Cardinals, a 67-win team right now, play the Angels, who are only like a 54-win team, and the Angels have home court because the American League win, even though the Cardinals are a much better team. I don't think that's fair for the Cardinals.
I agree with Aaron that there should be no thing, because in football you just get more money from winning. I think it should just be that, because like you said, a really good team, if a really good team plays and is really well, and there's a wild card team who just has a lucky run at the playoffs, the really good team should be able to have home field advantage in the Game 7 of the World Series.
Yes, I think it should stay because, well, the All-Star Game is it's the biggest, it's like everybody wants to watch it because everyone's team is in it. So, I mean, if they want to change it, it's up to them, but it does affect if a conference has the best team and the worst team in it. A wild card team should get a chance to get home field advantage.
New topic, Super Bowl bounce back team. NFL bounce back team.
Unfortunately, I don't think the Chargers will have it. Well, I'll say the Chargers. I'm really hoping the Chargers do make it. I do not think they will, but I'm hopeful.
Miami Dolphins.
The Buffalo Bills.
I'm going to have to go with the Raiders.
All right, who is the best Laker of all time?
Kobe or Magic?
No, it's
or
best Laker.
anyone else.
Like Jerry West.
Well, Wilt Chamberlain did have over 100 points in one game, and Kobe only had 81. I say only. 81 is outstanding. But Wilt Chamberlain had like 35 points on free throws, and Kobe didn't. I'm going to have to go with Kobe Bryant.
I think the best Laker of all time was the skyhook Kareem. He played amazing, and he's the all-time point leader, the best center, I think, ever.
Wilt Chamberlain, because he was one of the best players of all time. 100 points in a game is almost impossible.
Well, I'm going to have to, Wilt Chamberlain, he played back in the day. There weren't as good of players back then. I think if he was put in the league right now, he'd be kind of a DeAndre Jordan or a Blake Griffin type of person. He wouldn't be the star, but he would be recognized. And I have to go with Kareem. I have to agree with Aaron. Kareem.
All right, thank you. We will return soon. This is SBC LA, and goodbye.
All right, in 3.
Hello, my name is Edward Hawley, alongside here with my partners John Souza and Lucas Hunter, and welcome to In Your Face. Now I'll start with our first topic. Florida State quarterback Jameis Winston was drafted #1 overall over Marcus Mariota. Do you think he's a star or bust? John Souza, let's start with you.
I think he could be a star if he keeps his hands clean off the field. We all know he has had incidents where he has been accused of assault. He has yelled obscene gestures on tables in the campus at the campus cafeteria. I think if he can keep his hands clean and don't do any of those dumb things that he's done that have gotten him suspended or investigated at, I think he has the potential to be a star because he has a great arm. Even though he did have a lot of turnovers last year at Florida State with a good offensive line, he was a lot of the time he was rushed, and I think he had a lot of pressure being a freshman Heisman Trophy winner. So I still think he can end up being a star, but I still think he does have bust potential with his off the field issues.
I completely agree. I think a lot of people look past the fact that he was like 18, 19, 20 when he was doing all that stupid stuff, and that's really young. So I think he's matured out a little bit since he's signed his NFL contract. Well, hopefully he's matured.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think he's either going to be a star or a bust. He's not going to be in between. He would have been an easily #1 pick if he had done all this stuff. Like, there is still question if he was going to be #1. I think a lot of that was because of his off-the-field issues at Florida State.
Yeah, but it was still the best pick at the time. I mean, there's no way you're taking Marcus Mariota.
Yeah,
right. I mean, you got to give the people of Florida, their quarterback from Florida
Yeah.
State. I mean, if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you're in the state of Florida, right?
Yeah.
You can't not take the Heisman Trophy winner from Florida.
Imagine how much
turmoil would have been in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now let's
There'd
go
be a
to
whole
our
bunch of Tennessee Titans fans.
Now let's go to our second topic. Will Clayton Kershaw finally break through this year and dominate in the playoffs? Lucas,
No.
let's start with you.
No,
No,
I don't think he'll be able to dominate in the
Get
playoffs.
over that hump.
Yeah, because he's tired after 8 innings a game on 4-day rest, 3-4 day rest. I mean, he's dominant in the regular season, but I think he's not going to break through the hump this year.
John.
Well, I think he may not. I don't think he's going to be horrible like he has been before in the St. Louis series. I don't think he'll be horrible, but I don't think he will be MVP quality. I think he may still end up with quality starts, going 6 innings, giving up 2 runs. But I don't think he's going to be the guy that goes 9 innings, giving up no runs and 4 hits. But I don't think he'll be the guy that goes 3 innings, gives up 8 runs, and the Dodgers lose whenever he pitches in the postseason.
Yeah, but this season we've seen Kershaw at his best and Kershaw at his worst.
Yeah, he started off cold. He's heated up.
He's catching fire right now.
Yeah.
But look at Greinke though. Today he was hot in July.
I still think Greinke can bounce back from that.
He gave up 5 runs in the bottom of the first innings. That just tells you what can happen in 1 inning.
Yeah.
That's also happened to Kershaw in the playoffs against the Cardinals. Now let's go to our third topic. Do you think Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, all-time career home run leader, legendary power. Everybody knows him. It'd be a disgrace to not have him in the Hall of Fame.
I think he should be in the Hall of Fame, and I do think Pete Rose should be as well. But I think they need to make a Hall of Shame or a Wall of Shame in the Hall of Fame because you know what? You got to put all the steroid users. The steroid users have shaped baseball, and they've shaped baseball, and baseball has turned into a completely different game from steroids. I mean, in the steroids era, it was so hard to be a good pitcher with all these batters that's biceps are about the size of my hand. But
it's up and it's gone.
But I think Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame because he did has a great record with home runs. But I think he should be on the Wall of Shame.
I agree with both of you. He should be in the Hall of Fame. He's one of the best home run hitters ever to play the game.
The best.
One of the best. And yeah.
Okay.
Next topic.
So let's go to the next topic. Will the 49ers ever be the same without Jim Harbaugh?
No.
No, they also lost Patrick Willis. I think that's a bigger loss to them than Jim Harbaugh even, because he was the face of their franchise since 2007. He always led the league in tackles, best middle linebacker in the game, until Luke Kuechly came along.
Let me ask you a question. Did you know who Jim Tomsula was before they hired him?
No, I did not.
How about you?
Nope.
Neither did I. I think that was a terrible hiring of Jim Tom Sewell. I mean, who hires their defensive line coach? Other than if you're Old Miss and you're going to hire Ed Ogeron. By the way, that was a great signing. Ed Ogeron is a beast.
No,
but
he's not.
He's a
No.
good coach.
He is not a good
No.
coach. Look what he did with SC.
He was good. We only lost the 2 rivalry games.
He killed you that one time.
Yeah.
He killed you.
But I still think it was a terrible signing. I think they lost Chris Borland, Patrick Willis, and just a lot of guys that have really shaped their team.
And that'll be all for tonight. Here's Lucas Hunter. That's John Souza. I'm Edward Hawley. Good night. In your face.
Stay classy.